This is The Foundation, stories from people who build things, products, services, businesses, how they started, what they're doing now, and where they're going.
Good afternoon, Laura. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Dave. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time to go ahead and talk with me today. Just a little bit of a background. You and I met a couple years ago when San Diego was awarded or was applying for the World Design Capital designation by the World Design Organization. And San Diego, Tijuana got it, as you well know. I remember you raising your hand and saying, I would like to participate in some way. And I said, I want to find out more about Laura and what she is doing at Humble Design. So, my first question to you is this: give me the foundation of Humble Design and how you started, what you're doing now, and what you will be doing in the future.
Humble Design was founded in 2009 in Detroit and was created by somebody with a heart too big for her chest who found out that a friend of hers was experiencing homelessness. And so she helped her find somewhere to live. And then when they arrived at her new home, she discovered that her friend had no furniture, no home goods, and everything she owned was in two trash bags. And so she just went out and talked to everybody she knew and everybody she didn't know and said, give me your furniture, give me your dishes and plates and cups and art for the wall and toys for the kids, and give me all of the best things that you have because this is my friend and I'm going to make a home for her. And so she did. And then she called all of the homelessness services in Detroit and said, who does this? And they said, nobody. And that's how Humble Design was born. And that's our foundation. So that was Detroit in '09. And now we operate in Detroit, Chicago, San Diego, and Cleveland. And I've been here in our San Diego location for 4.5 years. And we've been in town since
Four and a half.
2018.
Congrats. Yes. How did she pick the cities? And how did you connect with her in the first place?
The cities kind of picked Humble. So, Chicago, we had a partnership with CB2 at the time that allowed them to open those doors. San Diego was hometown for our founders, Trigger and Rob. She grew up here in El Cajon, so it was a homecoming for her. And Cleveland was born through the generosity of Progressive. And so we went where we were called. And I met Trigger through my previous work. I was in philanthropy at the foundation at Rady Children's, and I was invited to do a home with the team who was a mutual donor between the hospital and Humble Design. So I got to come volunteer way back. It was in 2019. Humble was pretty new to San Diego, and I could just never get that day out of my heart. And then a couple of years later, when the opportunity arose for me to come join this team, I knew it was the place that I was meant to be. And here I am.
So, again, you'll be able to correct my poor explanation of it, but you work with interior designers with donated items from corporations and individuals, and you design and install into empty rooms and houses and apartments for a family or an individual who has recently been housed and needs a place to stay, right?
You just did a pretty good job, Dave. Yes, all of our clients they all have a roof over their head and nothing under that roof. And so they have been working with partners of ours in the social services sector. We have, I think, 60 plus social services agencies that refer clients to us. All of the clients have gone through the programs of those agencies and have gotten housing through their partner agencies. And then we come in because the houses are typically empty and our clients are sleeping on the floor, their kids are sleeping on the floor. And so we will come in and fully furnish a home for them in one day. And after clients receive our services, they break the cycle of homelessness.
When we first met and we came down and listened to you telling this story, both my wife and I, we had a lump in our throat because of the realization, as you said, that having a place is different than having a place that is furnished. And I know at the time you were able to furnish two places, two homes, two apartments, but you're up to how many now? Four a week, is that true?
It's almost true. We are
Almost true.
consistently doing 3 homes a week. And because of the research that came out of the UC San Diego Homelessness Hub last year, which was part of our World Design Capital project,
Mhm.
they found that 98% of the people we serve stay housed after receiving our services because of our services. And so, based on the strength of those findings, we are trying to get to 4 homes a week as soon as we can. And next month, we're going to practice. We're doing a pilot where we're doing 4 homes for 4 weeks and testing out the operational model that we think will best serve our clients. And then, as soon as we have the funding and resources to do that consistently, that's what's next for us.
So there's enough inventory, if that's the right word, to be able to have four houses a week for a lengthy period of time, right?
That is what we're testing. We think that we
Okay.
are in a good place, and we'll find out if there are pinch points or spaces that we need to supplement the inventory. But primarily, our needs are funding and staffing and the capacity to serve more people. We have amazing interior designers and movers on
Mhm.
staff, and then we have an army of incredible volunteers who power every home alongside our team. And so we just need to grow our capacity to serve because far more people need our services than we are able to provide. Our wait list is already booked out 3 months, and that's too long for people to wait.
So explain to me what a wait list is from that standpoint, other than the presumption that somebody is waiting for a place to live. But how does the wait list come to you, if that's even the right way of saying it?
Yeah, we have, like I said, we have partnerships with all these social services agencies, and then there are case managers who work at those organizations who are familiar with our services. And once they have determined that a client they are working with is ready for our services, and a case manager might have 20, 30, 40 clients they're working with all across their journeys through and out of homelessness. And of their caseload, they might refer 2 or 3 clients who are ready, and then they'll fill out our referral form and get into our queue. But now, because we have so many agency partners and because we have so much more visibility in the space, thanks to this research that was published last year, people want what we have for their clients, and we just don't have the capacity to serve everybody as quickly as we want to.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that research that was published, how that research came about, how it can be utilized and deployed in a fashion that will continue being effective.
The collaboration with the Homelessness Hub came about through something we call humble magic, which is when the person, you walk through our doors just at the moment that we need you. And so the Homelessness Hub was established the year before World Design Capital came to San Diego, and they are an applied
That was
research
through
team.
UCSD, right? Homelessness Hub at UCSD.
The
Okay.
UC San Diego Homelessness Hub. They were
Okay.
established as an applied research team, and they identify effective interventions in the space of homelessness and co-create active research projects with their partners. And so we got connected with them right before World Design Capital. And so our project was 3 part, and the first part was this study to evaluate the impact of our services. And they did extensive surveying and interviewing of our clients and took a really deep dive into how we do what we do, and were able to come out with really stunning findings, both quantitative and qualitative, that just confirmed what we had always known because we have had anecdotal evidence for the 16 years we've been in existence as an organization. But now we have
Mhm.
a team of PhDs from the top 10 research university in the country affirming that yes, what we do works. And their top finding or their top recommendation was go out, raise more money, and do more of what you do because it's needed. And
Mhm.
we work in a sector that is desperate need of solutions and joy, and we offer both of those things. And so it's our mission to give it to as many people as possible. So not only do we want to do more of what we're doing, but we want to figure out a way to embed ourselves even more deeply inside the sector. And so what we're working on this year is identifying those agency partners where we might be able to be inside their program instead of being an add-on service that comes because a case manager has advocated for their clients. And that's a long game, and it takes time and a lot of energy and commitment to shift a system, as you know. But
Mhm.
we are compelled by the evidence that was surfaced through this study and the amazing stories that we hear every day of people that we serve and the way that their lives are completely different. We do befores and afters in our home transformations, and our clients share their remarkable befores and afters of their lives and their stories.
That's good. Well, the quantitative aspect you mentioned was the 90% or thereabouts retention rate, which is great. So qualitative, like you said, anecdotally, when you see the smiles on the faces of the people as they walk into the room, it's very heartfelt. So let's tell the audience here where they might be able to see some of those videos of rooms that have transforming rooms and lives.
The best place to check it out is on our social. We're at Humble Design San Diego on both Instagram and Facebook. And every home that we do, we post the story of the client whom we were serving. We show photos and video of their transformed spaces. And then we follow up. I have an amazing teammate who gets to call and check in with our clients periodically, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years post service, and gets to hear all of these incredible stories of people who have been able to change their lives. And so we share that in our social as well. And it's a really amazing full circle experience. We also did, as part of World Design Capital, this incredible documentary film. It's called When a House Becomes a Home. You can find it on YouTube, and it tells the story of four of our clients in first person about their journeys with Humble before and after, and then also conversations with partners across the sector, with teammates, and also shows the creation of this beautiful mural on the outside of our warehouse, which is the third part of our World Design Capital project. So we have a 15,000 square foot warehouse in Logan Heights. And when we moved in, it was a big white building, except when it was graffitied and tagged. And then Justin, who's the artist whose studio is across the street at the San Diego Main Factory, designed this incredible mural that spans a city block and uses all of our brand palette, joyful colors, and abstract rendering of our logo and the joy that you feel when you're part of the Humble family. People should definitely come by and check that out too.
Sure, sure. And they should bring their wonderful, gently used donations too, right?
Yes, thank you for that.
That's right. You mentioned earlier about 60 organizations, and I would imagine they're affiliates of nationwide organizations and local and everything. That's quite an amazing number of organizations that are trying to tackle this very challenging problem. How do you see being able to be effective within all the varying organizations?
We have the gift of not being in competition with anybody. We are true collaborators, and I believe that is the future of making an impact in this space is when we all work together. And so we get to bring together organizations that work with folks in different stages of their journeys. And I really think that that is how we are going to make a difference together, is when we put our clients, the people whom we serve, at the center of all of our services. And instead of having it be kind of a handoff, it's wrapping our arms around our clients, our neighbors, and our neighborhoods together. And Humble is what every case manager wants for their clients, because when you get referred to Humble, it means that you've made it. You've made it through, you've made it out, and you're gonna start fresh in the next chapter of your story.
That's good news. Now, working within the context of city managers and city politicians and everything, what is working well with working with cities, and what's the challenge that you're trying to rectify?
We don't work directly with most municipalities. We work with the agencies that are within those cities and municipalities. We are applying for county funding. This year, we received a grant on the heels of our UC San Diego study last year from County District 4, their community enhancement grant, to provide our services for people who live in that county. And we are going to apply for grant funding from all 5 counties on the success of that partnership and try to bring more of a public-private partnership model forward. But we have historically been funded almost entirely through the generosity of private philanthropy, people who hear about our mission and want to invest in it.
Good, good. Well, again, I think right now and the end of July and the conversations with people about the one big beautiful act, I think is what it's called. I think what you're intimating is you're not really either going to be losing some funding or gaining some funding from that standpoint, and that's sort of other companies and organizations have to deal with the complexities of that.
We are fortunate that we haven't been specifically impacted by the shift in federal funding. We are experiencing downstream impacts from both agencies that we work with and funders who have supported us. We are hearing that there are so many more requests for funding than ever before as other organizations are looking to replace critical funding for their programs. We're fortunate that we haven't had any funding cuts that our program is reliant on. And also we're trying to grow in a moment where most organizations are having to think about cutting. And we want to grow so that our impact and our success can be shared with all of the agencies that we work together with. Our numbers aren't our numbers. They're all of our numbers. We don't have the housing retention rates that we have without the amazing work of all of the agencies that have been walking alongside our clients for months, sometimes years. And we have the honor of coming in at the end of a chapter and bringing joy, but it's not ours. It's all of ours. And that's how we look at it. So any way that we can be uplifting to the whole sector and to all of the people whom we serve, that's what we want to do.
As we end this conversation, I want to ask you what you would like to say, either as a question that I could or should ask you, or what you would like to say in closing.
I would just like to say thank you. I'm so grateful to you specifically, having met you that day when I didn't even know what World Design Capital was. You were one of the first people in the design world who swooped in and said, "This is interesting, this is different. How can I help?" And that's what we need. That's what we need from the design community. That's what we need from our entire community across San Diego County. We need people who are going to come and learn our clients' amazing stories, understand that homelessness it's a human condition, and there are humans behind all of the numbers that you read about. And when we can invest in the humanity of our neighbors and help them to move forward, it uplifts everybody. And so anybody who walks through any of our doors, we're just so grateful for the kindness and the generosity that powers our mission and the joy that we get to create together.
There's not a single organization or person that I talk to about humble design that isn't interested in your continued success.
The Foundation is produced by Studio Conover and edited by Brett Euler. Studio Conover is a strategic marketing design firm for manufacturers of building products. Visit studioconover.com for more information.